Welcome to the Enlightened Misfits podcast, the space for entrepreneurs on a quest for unwavering certainty and purpose. I'm your host, Lauren, and each episode is a compass guiding you through authentic conversations, unraveling the mysteries of your human design chart, and offering tools from the remarkable guest. Join me as we embark on a journey to manifest greatness and create a life aligned with our deepest purpose. This is the space where misfits find their enlightenment. Welcome to the Enlightened Misfits podcast. Welcome back to the Enlightened Misfits podcast. I am your host, Lauren. In today's episode, I have Andrea. She is a quantum healer and spiritual mentor. Welcome. So happy to have you. I know you were here on season 1. That's no longer here, but I'm so happy to learn about the new evolved you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here today.
Yes. So can you kind of tell us about, where you kind of started and where you are today and how that kind of evolved for you?
Sure. So my journey has been quite the journey. It's been very organic for me. At this point, I am very clear on my mission, what I'm here to do, who I'm here to serve. And I kind of realized that I pretty much built this quantum healer career 100% organically. Like it just happened to me. I learned how to heal myself throughout, the process. And now I'm here passionately teaching others how to heal themselves.
I love that. I feel like we have very similar, I should say, not maybe we have different experiences, but I feel like we have very similar kind of this whole do you feel like this whole last year has been very transformative for you, like starting from like I thought I know what I wanted to do, but now it's like I'm very clear, like that conscious creation, clear, like entrepreneurship?
Yes, absolutely. The last couple of years, I would say, have been very transformative for me. A lot of growth, a lot of inner work. I think a big part of entrepreneurship is really working on those parts of yourself that are still afraid of being seen or afraid of knowing your worth and putting yourself out there, because that's what we really came here to do. And there is a phase where hermit mode is very necessary for you to really go deep within and grow and evolve and become, each time a better version of yourself. But a big part of it is also kind of getting prepared to reintroduce your new self to the world. So it's been a lot of growth in the past few years.
Yeah. I was going to say, when you said hermit mode too, it's like my human design is like I still need hermit mode. I still need that time to be like, I love people. I love doing what I do, but I also love to just be by myself now, so it's very, very like I need balance between both because that is what makes me tick.
100%. I resonate with that too.
So can you kind of tell there's a lot of people, there's a lot of different people that listen to this podcast, but mostly they're entrepreneurs. Can you kind of tell, like from an entrepreneur standpoint, how you leverage the principles of conscious creation to build and grow your business?
Sure. So, like I mentioned before, this has been a very long time coming. At this point, I'm very aware that when I look back, everything kind of was preparing me for this moment. So I think for me, this was a very organic thing. It was just this burning desire to share with people what I had experienced. I'm not diminishing, the value of education and learning and reading and doing all these things, because I'm huge on learning and knowledge. I'm a sucker for it. I'm always, striving to learn more. But I think just the fact that it was very organic for me, that's essentially what makes a way shower a way shower. There's no way you can show the way if you haven't really walked it. So having gone through the fire of self-mastery and, healing myself, evolving and really transforming myself at a cellular level has been an amazing journey that now it's like, okay, there's no reason I shouldn't be sharing this with the world. If I have access to this higher vibration, to this level of abundance and self-confidence, self-worth, and joy, and all these things that I'm experiencing in my life, then, I'm really feeling called to put it out there and share it with the world. And once again, that piece of really knowing your worth and being receptive to being compensated for it is a huge part of entrepreneurship. So it's kind of like one thing led to the other. I never really planned or said, let me educate myself in this thing because I envisioned this business or whatever it is. It all just kind of came together for me, and here I am.
Love that. So, like, if somebody was listening to this and what you were saying is resonating, do you have like a program that you have created that you've gone through? Like, do you walk your clients through this? Like, how does that look like for, how you help people with self-mastery?
Yes, 100%. So there's different tiers depending on, where each person is. I believe that what I do really encompasses many different things and aspects into one, because I've come to the realization that it really comes down to becoming the conscious creator of your reality, right? Tapping into that supreme power that most people have forgotten about. It's not really learning something new, but rather remembering who you really are at your essence and tapping into your most authentic self. So I feel that what I'm teaching people really encompasses spirituality, healing, and law of attraction, all these things that people are really interested in, that essentially they're looking to create a more fulfilling and purposeful life. So it doesn't really matter where you currently are on your journey, whether it's someone that is just curious about these subjects and wanting to transform their life in all ways. I have clients that come to me with, I'm feeling stuck financially, or I'm feeling stuck relationship wise, or I keep attracting the same type of people. And it really all comes down to the same thing. Do you know who you are and what are you attracting? Because the universe responds to who you are and not what you want, right? So really anything that you're trying to create, attract, and manifest really comes down to going within and discovering who you really are at the core, and why do you think the way you do, and why do you attract the things you do. So it's really a journey of self. And so I've created a course. It's a do-it-yourself self-mastery course. So this is for people that are curious. They want to learn more about these subjects. They want to tap into, a deeper layer of who they are. And it really takes you from wherever you are right now to reconnecting with and embodying your higher self. So this course teaches you everything that you need, and really every tool that I've acquired throughout my journey to get to where I am today. So there's lessons and tips and things to learn, how to master yourself on every level: physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic. I think that is the key. And for me, it's always been a personal mission to teach people how to heal themselves and to find their own power rather than relying on external sources for their guidance and clarity. I do believe that the transformation that we wish to see in our society and our planet has to start within. It has to happen from the inside out. Otherwise, it's really not going to work. So working with so many people in different levels and of consciousness and life and whatnot, I realized that it really doesn't matter where you're at or what pace you're evolving in. Just I'm really wanting to encourage people to simply do the work, because this type of work is not only benefiting you, but also the collective. So there's really nothing not to love about it, and not to, be curious about exploring. It really causes a ripple effect when you're in a higher vibration, and the energy that you're projecting out is very positive and uplifting. So that's my do-it-yourself course. And of course, I have coaching programs. I have group coaching, and I do offer one-on-one coaching for a more personalized experience. For people that are maybe, very new to these subjects, and they are just curious and are wanting to kind of start their journey. I do one-time sessions, and these sessions of quantum healing are very powerful because just coming into contact with my energy triggers your spiritual awakening. So either your first awakening or the next level that you're ready for, it's kind of like a portal that opens for you to ascend to the next level. Of course, given that you are doing the work, because it really depends on you. Nobody's going to do it for you, but I'm here to teach you how to get there.
I love that. And I love that you said that the second level of spiritual awakening, because even for myself, like through the experience, like I kind of knew that, but it was like when I came back down to, okay, I need to go to the next level, I didn't realize that I feel like we have multiple spiritual awakenings, more just like going to the next level, like that next healing. And one of my clients actually, and I didn't even really think of it this way, but one of my clients was like, I feel like I was here last year, or I was here like 3 months ago, or like a cycle, like maybe it was like 6 months or whatever, 9 months or whatever, a year. And I said, it's because if you learn that lesson, right, you're not going to repeat that same thing. And, that's the same thing when you said earlier about like attracts like. It was like in society, people always that tell, or like I've heard multiple times, it's like opposites attract, and it's like no, they don't. That it's like attracts likes, and I was like, so whoever made that up was obviously delusional themselves. But I noticed that even for myself, it's like through my own relationships and my own kind of healing, it's like those kind of people that I used to attract, or I was friends with before, or I had to, clear out different things, or family members, it's like they're still there. I picked them for a reason, right? But it's like I can release that, or people can release that with love. And I feel like the only reason why I feel like I'm saying this is because in the spiritual world, it's very loud, and there's so many like imposters or people that aren't doing the work. And it's like now with the age of Aquarius and whatever's going on in the universe now, it's like you are people. I'm starting to see it online. Like I don't know if you have, but it's like the people that pretend to do the work, or it's like I can help you do this. It's like, but do you do it for yourself? No. Like that, you know what I mean? Like you have to have that kind of like integrity. And I feel like I wasn't even aware of this maybe last year. And now it's like, okay, so like everybody, even in like, society with all these like celebrities, like they're getting exposed, and it's just like, oh, okay. So it's like nobody can hide anymore. And I have to say, I do like that, because it's like the people that are here to truly serve, you can see them from who's not here to truly serve, like who's here to just, if it could be pride or greed or just for money or whatever it is, it's like that's kind of fading out, which I
Absolutely.
really
We're
love.
we're entering this era where authenticity is really running the show. It's like nothing can, this veil of illusion is really collapsing, and
Yeah.
we're really starting to see people for who they are. We're starting to even just see people as energy and souls, rather than that superficial mask that many people have been wearing for a long time. So this involves a lot of different aspects that really allow you to come into this place of authenticity, and it requires vulnerability and embracing your humanity, and knowing that you're not perfect. Nobody's expecting you to be. And we're kind of collapsing all these societal limiting beliefs and things that have kept us trapped for so long. It's really a time where we are beginning to remember who we really are, what we came here to do, our real power, and from that place, really transforming, our individual lives and the planet as a collective. So it's very powerful work, but of course, it takes a lot of courage to face yourself, to really, come to a place of acceptance and surrender. And I think it really comes down to being very curious. Like, okay, this resonates, it sounds pretty interesting. Let me go within and really, discover who I am without needing to be defensive about it or feeling judged or feeling like I'm broken or anything like that. And that's one of the things that I share with my community and my clients a lot, that when you suggest healing to someone, there's usually a lot of resistance, because somehow that's a synonym of you're broken and you need to be fixed or you need help. And that's really not it. Like, I swear, if you had a childhood and have family, you probably have some type of trauma. Like, it's normal, we've all had experiences that led us to have limiting beliefs and to have fears. And so um like you said, a lot of people are kind of entering this wave of spirituality aesthetic, where it's just very superficial. And spirituality is not crystals and incense. It's really doing the work and going within, and knowing that we are connected, and as you do this work, you are having a great impact in the world.
Yeah, I know. I think I think I was that person that was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do healing. I'm going to start going down this path. I'm going to stop doing this. And like, it really triggered me when I read the book, The Secret. And I was like, there's no fucking way that this book works. There's just no way. There's no way, because I'm not the problem here. I was in that victim mentality, from all of my multifaceted trauma. I get to wear a badge. Now I joke about it. I mean, it wasn't a joke then. Obviously trauma is not ever a joke, but I always deflect with humor. It feels like very healing to me. Like, not making fun of myself, but just understanding and accepting that that's happened, but I'm not there anymore. We're here. And so I just that's when I started, and I was like, oh yeah, I love crystals. I love this. I love that. And then I just got this book, and I was like, oh shit, I have to actually do this now. It's like, so where do I start? And it's like, that was, a couple years ago. And then I was like, I can start doing this as a business. I can do this. And it's just like, that was like, okay, well, now you still have to do work before, you do this. And I realized, looking back on it like 4.5 years ago now, it's the reason why I was psycho obsessed with human design. It's the reason why I loved astrology. It's the reason why it's like, now that's the foundation of my business. Like, that's what I turned it into a course. It's like, one of my mentors said that, okay, well, you need to do a course now. And I was like, course? What am I going to do a course about? And then I was like, oh, I can use my whole lifetime, like life experiences, and turn it into something that could help somebody else. Because I would, going through, like most of us do, it's, you have a level of like not being wanted to be seen. It's probably connected to a past life, even this lifetime, or you're quieted, or you can't talk about something, and it's like, you can't say that, or society is like, that's not acceptable or whatever. And it's like, no, like, that's all the old paradigm. It's all of like the things that are which makes me so excited, which is why I love it. Cause I'm an Aquarius, sun, but I also love the age of Aquarius, because that is what Aquarius is all about. So I love that you were saying that too, because I think often people that are in the spiritual community, they don't, or they're starting to realize the second part to it is the work. And it's like, if you're not doing the work, you're going to stay in that same space. It's like, I've always loved to be in the shadows. I feel like, even like with like deep shadow work and stuff, it's why I think I resisted the shamanic journey for so long, but now I'm a shamanic practitioner, because it's like, it's what I needed to go to the next level. And that, if I didn't do it, I would continue to try to everything else, and I still am going to be back in the same spot of like, I need to go through this way, And I feel like, in a way, the shamanic journey is pretty much, it's quantum. It's pretty much all quantum, and it's just a different tool, because people are like, well, where do I start? And it's like, what attracts you to something? So you can, start that way. Like, there's different tools, but I always tell people, I actually just said this on another podcast, that we all ultimately are doing the same thing. We are all, I believe that we're all connected and we're all one. So we're going to do we're going to do different things, but at the end of the day, what we're doing is helping people with their trauma, or we're helping them with money trauma, because all of us have it, regardless if you think you have trauma or not. I always tell people you have trauma. A breakup that you didn't clear out of your body is trauma. Like I don't think people think of it as at surface level. Like, being neglected as a kid or not feeling loved is trauma, and it's just, people then are like, oh, I had a breakup. I'm like, you tell me you've never had a breakup? Are you normal? Like, are you a human? Like, are you, yes. It's like when you actually give them that awareness, they're like, oh, okay. It's like that aha moment. But it's like, again, I always say it's not our responsibility to bring that aha moment to them. I'm kind of just like you. People come in my aura and I'm very triggering to them. And that just means, oh, I can help you. And that makes me excited. I just accepted the fact that I can walk into a room and I trigger people for no reason. But then I get excited because I'm like, oh, I can help you. Do you want me to help you? You want me to help you understand? Because I would
Oh,
teach you what I do.
I love that you mentioned that because,
Yeah.
our energy as healers is often so misunderstood. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like when you go to the doctor and you get a surgery and it's very painful, it's uncomfortable. So you kind of hate the doctor for a little while, but then
Right.
afterwards you feel so much better. And it's
Yeah.
something very subconscious. We don't even try to trigger people. It just happens. It's our energy. It's the medicine that they didn't know they needed. And I love that you brought up the fact that most people don't even realize what trauma looks like and how subtle it can be. Most people, when they hear the word trauma, automatically think of like this really painful, horrible experience, which of course some people happen to experience. But it could be something as subtle as the things that you were mentioning. Like maybe as a little boy, you were told that emotions are weaknesses and that you shouldn't express them, or that your words and your feelings didn't matter. So as an adult, you're kind of operating from this place, from this very subconscious place that you don't even have awareness of. And so people are kind of just surviving out there. They're not really living. They're not really tapping into their own power to really manifest and attract the things that they want, because they're operating from this very limited subconscious place that they are not even aware of. So that is a huge part of, bringing this awareness to people. I, just like you, I feel that I'm not here to convince anyone. I am very aware that some souls just decided or planned on living a more superficial, a more human experience here. They didn't intend to evolve too much. So I am very respectful of that. But I never underestimate the power of planting a seed. Even if people are not ready for it at the moment, even if they don't receive it the way I intended them to, I know at some point it's going to trigger something within them. Something's going to click and they're going to remember that time I said that one thing and now it makes sense to them. So I think it is important to, speak our truth. There's a reason that we experienced all these things earlier than most people, because a lot of people are starting to experience them now. But the whole point of going through the things that we went through and healing ourselves and learning all these things was to become aware and now kind of pave a path for other people to heal themselves as well.
Yeah. I was going to say, I love that you said that too, because um, through through the shamanic journey, one of the things that really pointed out, like stood out to me was, just conflict and stuff of like, my energy versus somebody else's energy. And I always looked at people as energy, and I would get very, before I would get very, very triggered by like my own trigger, like their mind, to deal with. But what I noticed was that something inside of me, and that's when I started to notice, oh my goodness, everybody is like a reflection of what I need to heal inside of myself, or what maybe I desire, which is not. When people say jealousy, I always try to change it. I'm like, that doesn't mean it's bad. It could just be desire. So here's me, I always try to like flip something that could be negative, like jealousy, or if that person's jealous of me, and I'm like, well, maybe they desire what you want.
like something like that. So it's like that mindset shift, because I had to do so much mindset shifting of like, why does everybody have everything that I want? Or it's like, that victim to like victor mentality of different things. And I feel like even just in my own personal relationships, I've noticed that, the ego gets such a bad rap. I feel like in society, people talk about it. Like everybody's a narcissist, everybody's this, everybody's narcissistic. And I'm like, what if when I went through the shamanic journey for myself, I realized everybody's operating at a wounded place. I mean, yes, there is people that are very narcissistic. There is people that will not, heal. There is people that's just what they plan to, like you said, very superficial. But I always say at the end of the day, it's not your place to judge them, because then obviously you're just judging yourself. So it's like, that's how I am able to look at the world from the inside out. And I feel like a lot of us intuitives, healers, mentors, spiritual guides, that is how. Now there is another side of that. There is people that are not, there's always like that black and white. We need that duality, that good, that bad, that light, that dark. But I've noticed that, even if I were to say something to somebody, I'm like, I can just see how wounded they are. And that's the capacity that they're able to operate out of. So it's not, that helped me. And I feel like the only reason why I'm saying this is because it's been coming up a lot too in my own life and just with my clients and just like a daily life, that I can see people of like, I'm going to treat them with love and compassion because they need it the most. If the most miserable people on this planet, they need the most love, because that, like you said, that one time that I could be nice to somebody or I could be kind to somebody, that could literally change their whole life. And that just means I don't ever need to know about it, but it just that just means that I did what I needed to do, like for them in that moment.
Yes. And I think that's where the real power of this, self journey and doing the inner work comes to be, because when you do the inner work and when you are able to accept yourself for who you really are, flaws and all, with the things that you judge about yourself, you're able to have compassion for yourself, for your experiences, for the things that you did when you didn't know any better. Then now you're in a better position to understand other people and to hold space for them to be who they are right now. And of course, if you're in a position to teach them or share tools with them or your experiences, then that's how you're making a positive impact. And when we think about it, it's like we might think of ourselves as, I'm just one person, what am I going to do? But really, it's a lot of us who are thinking this. And one by one, if each person just focuses on doing their inner work, on becoming a better version of themselves, being more mindful of the energy that they're projecting out, they're not only transforming their own lives, but their communities and their surroundings. And, little by little, we're transforming the world. So I always say that New Earth is not a place we arrive to, it arrives through us. And there's really no other way. So, shout out to the people that are really putting in the work and really committed to just being a positive impact in the world, because you really have no idea how big of an impact that's making in the planet at this time.
Yeah, I was going to say yes. And it's not easy, because if it was easy, everybody would do it. So it's
Exactly.
like, I always tell people, if you can just help one person, and there's 10 billion people in this world, that everybody just helps one person, everybody is helped. So you don't need to help thousands of people. You don't need to say like, do that, because it's like one person can't help thousands of people in a month. It's like over time, you can just see how many people you actually have helped. I feel like, especially entrepreneurs, because we want to help everybody, or not even just being an entrepreneur, but just like being a healer, you just want to help everybody. And it's like, at the end of the day, you're going to, kill your soul if you try to help everybody. Like, it's not going to work out for you. You're going to be tired. You're going to be sick all the time. And that's not this experience.
Yeah. And some people are just not ready for it. I think it's very natural for a healer to just have this burning desire to help everyone, to rescue everyone, because we already did it with ourselves. So we know it's like we have the answers. You don't have to suffer. You don't have to go through this.
Yeah.
But some people are just not receptive. They're not ready. They're not yet there yet. So it's just, respecting their free will, their timing. Everyone has a different journey, a different process. And like I said, I don't underestimate the power of planting a seed, but I'm here for the people that are ready for me, that are really ready to transform their lives and just to be better. Because I feel that even the people that say like, oh, I'm fine where I am, I'm not really interested in going deeper or doing this type of work, that's just kind of this superficial, excuse that they come up with because they feel comfortable where they are. It's easier to stay where they are, even if they're not fulfilled, even if they're not happy, even if at a soul level they know there's more and they came here to experience more. They're rather stay in that comfortable space because it allows them to stay where they are, to not face themselves, not face those darker parts of themselves that they'd rather avoid and hide. So when you have the courage to face yourself, it's like there's no stopping you. There's no limit. We are infinite beings, and you're going to evolve and ascend and expand as much as you want to at your own pace. So I just really wish that everyone would tap into it. It's really curiosity. Like, oh, let me fuck around and find out what's going on. Like
Right. And then
what's
you do it
inside of
and
me.
you're like, oh shit.
Then you really find out.
Yeah, I love that you say that too, because I've had to learn that over the years too, of like wanting to help everybody, to be like, okay, the people that are drawn to me, they want my advice or they want my guidance or whatever. And then it's like at that time that they needed that push, or they asked me a question, or I'm like, I don't have a filter when it comes to that, especially if it's a client. Like, look, I know that you're here and you want to get here, but you have tried it your way and we're going to try it my way. And this is what you're going to do, like that type of thing. And if it's like, I won't do that unless it's like a one-on-one client, or like I'm just I feel like when you need to hear it from other people and then you hear it from somebody that you love and trust, as like when you're working with them, I feel like that's a safe space that like my intention is always not to shame you or not to make you feel like you're lower, like, but I just feel like I've noticed some of my clients from their feedback, I noticed that I said, what was the two things that, if they coached with me before, that you would say to somebody else if they wanted to work with me? It was funny because two of them literally, when I said the same exact thing, they said the first one is, if you're not ready to heal, don't work with Lauren. So I thought it was funny because I was like, oh, okay. Like, and I was like, I guess I kind of reflected on that a little bit. I'm like, well, that's true. Like, because I'm here to help the people I'm not here to like drag you. I'm not here for you to be stuck to me. I want to help you and I want you to evolve further than I have gone, or it will go at that moment. And it's like, that's the way that the evolution should happen. I feel like, because I always say to my like clients too, that they teach me stuff about myself, like, that I maybe can't see within myself. So and the reason why I say that is because lately I've been noticing that people are getting coaches and getting mentors and getting all this guidance from people that really aren't doing the work, like we said earlier. And I feel like very called to protect those people, because that hurts, because I've been there, and that hurts, and you invest your money, and it's like your stability gets taken away from you because you really thought you could trust that person. And like I do, I want your birth chart, I want your human design, I want to know your lineage, I want to know what you do, I want to know who your coach is. Like, I do all of that because it's like, I want to know if you're really doing what you're saying, because I feel like now, especially, gotta be careful.
Yes, absolutely. I 100% agree.
So before we wrap up here, where can people get a hold of you, and where can they find you on social media? Is there anything you are working on now that they can look forward to?
Yes. So I'm all over the place. But the place that I would say I connect most with my community is Twitter. So my username there is Andrea Muse 777. I'm also on Instagram, and you can find more information about myself, my story, how I got here, and what I'm currently doing on my website. I have a lot of exciting things happening right now. I'm actually launching my very first event, and it's very exciting because, once again, very organic. I guess I did have a vision at some point, but the way that it came together was just truly magical. It was really something that was always destined to be. But in the last episode, I shared how my journey took me in different routes and different careers, and exploring, I've lived many different timelines in this one lifetime. So I have pursued a lot of different things. And I really think that at this point of my journey, it's like a full circle moment where I'm finally embracing my multidimensionality and all those aspects that make me who I am, integrating all those fragments of my soul that I've been kind of retrieving as I do the inner work. So this event is really, really magical. It's a new way of healing. I do really think that healing doesn't have to be painful. It doesn't have to be a synonym of, sit in the dark and do your shadow work and cry and be in pain and in shame and all these things. Like you said earlier, there's a lot of different modalities, and they really all focus on the same thing. We're all working towards the same purpose. So I have created this safe space that not only is kind of redefining what it means to go out and party. I want to encourage people to heal and not necessarily abandon their human aspect that craves fun and joy and play and pleasure, because that's part of our human experience. So this event is the combination of all my passions into one vehicle. I am also a DJ, so music is one of my biggest passions. Before that, I was a professional chef, and so in this event, we, have that aspect of food where I channel very high vibrational energy through Reiki to the food, and really the effect that it has on people is otherworldly. It's truly amazing. Through music, I channel light codes, and I transfer them to people while I'm dancing, while I'm just being myself, enjoying myself. And it's a very holistic event where we have amazing activities like yoga, meditation, Kundalini activations, all types of different things. It's also a great opportunity to collaborate. I feel like there's a lot of healers out there that are waiting, to be seen, to come out into the world, to share their gifts. And so we're all working towards the same mission, but I'm very excited to launch this project. And yeah, like I mentioned earlier, I do offer that self-mastery program and coaching as well. So it's something that I'm really passionate about. And it's an everyday thing, even when I'm not with my clients. Like if I step out to the store, I'm always giving someone advice. I'm always sharing higher consciousness. So it's truly something that sets my soul on fire, and it makes me really happy to visualize a world where we're all in our power, where we're all operating from this higher dimension of consciousness. So that's where I'm at right now.
Oh, now is there a date for this? Is this still in the process for this event, or is there a date?
Yes, it's still in the process. I'm doing a soft launch next week, actually.
Okay.
But I'm sure by the time the podcast comes out, it's gonna be fully ready and available for the public. So I'll be happy to share more details then.
Okay, I was gonna say I'm excited. I can't wait.
You should come. You would love it.
Okay. So any final thoughts that you wanted to share before we end with the listeners?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me today. I love these spaces where we can just share experiences and, share all this information with the world. I feel it's very important. And I just want to say that I really want to encourage people to get more curious about this type of work and learning more about themselves and going on that journey within, because like I said earlier, it's not something that's just benefiting everyone, but really on a personal level, that is the way you transform your life. And I hate to see people in victim mentalities or in these little boxes, with all these limitations that are not them to begin with, hoping and dreaming of a better life and seeing it so far away and so unreachable just because they don't have the right tools or the right information. So that is really my intention with what I'm creating right now, to really provide the tools that people need in order to find their own power and live a more fulfilling life. I think we came here to do more than just work, pay bills, and die. And Earth is a school. We came here to learn, to evolve, to expand, and there's no better time than now to really tap into that. So I hope that people get curious, and I'm here for whoever's ready.
Yes, I love that. I love when people are curious. That's what I'm like, or me, I'm like, I'm very curious. I'm curious of why you believe that. I want to know what you feel about that, right? Curiosity is very, it will teach you a lot.
Definitely.
Well, thank you for joining us in today's episode with Andrea on the Enlightened Misfits podcast. So if you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe. You can leave a review and then share this episode with somebody that you feel that will gain knowledge from listening. And make sure you check out her description box and, make sure you follow her so you can get all the updates on this new event that she's planning. Stay tuned for more captivating conversations in the future. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, and I will see you next time.
Thank you for joining us on another enlightening episode on the Enlightened Misfits podcast. If you are a current or inspiring to be fempreneur, suffering from the fear of being seen and or feel very triggered when you're building your business, reach out to me at The Mermaid Light about my Rich and Resilient Biz Baddies. This is a collective text message Voxer support group designed to help you heal your triggers and turn imposter syndrome into bad bitch energy. If you resonate with our conversations and insight, don't forget to subscribe, rate the show, and leave a review. Your feedback fuels our mission. Remember, your journey to unwavering certainty and purpose is ongoing. So please make sure you stay connected with us on social media. Keep manifesting greatness in your life. Until next time, this is Lauren from the Enlightened Misfits podcast. Stay enlightened, stay inspired, and keep manifesting your extraordinary path.